September 28th, 2009. This is Diehard Gamer Radio Show 75.
You are approaching the target of attack. Your mission starts now. Are you ready? The countdown begins. 3, 2, 1, go!
You are listening to Diehard Gamer Radio, the source for off-mainstream video game news and topics. And now, your hosts, Murdock, Brian, John, and Steve.
Just a couple more shots.
And Murdock's currently running 0.5 seconds behind us all.
So, welcome back to Diehard Gamer Radio. Steve has been showing us some helpful
Finger motions.
finger motions. Yeah,
yeah, right.
He's helping us with our prostate self-examination that we all have to take at some point.
Learn
That
how to
requires
tickle.
some contortion that really I'm probably not capable of.
You're just not trying hard
Things
enough.
you only see of online.
Things you only see at
This is turning into
Cirque du
$25,000
Soleil.
pyramid. Things that you see online. Pass.
I'd like to
things you
pass
only
on
see
that
on B.
exam.
Things you only see on G. Things you only see on V.
Things you only see on B. Oh, what?
Things
Ooh.
you see after VD.
What?
The doctor?
Yeah. Okay. So,
Go in.
yeah.
That's gonna hurt.
So let me do the introductions. I will do them in beard order,
I already did that.
in hair order.
So I'm always last, is what you're saying? Is
No.
that what you're saying?
No.
What are you saying?
It's not saying much. At the
So
moment.
we'll go from hairless to most hair, I guess.
Yep, I'm last again.
Eh,
Damn it.
Fuck. We have Steve. We have Brian.
Chilling with the chili head
You have less hair than Roger.
in general.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking facial hair. So
No.
you didn't specify.
No. Are you now not hurt?
I don't
Bless
even know.
her.
I don't even know what's going on here. So we have Roger and we have Murdock and we have Brian and we have me. Who is Steve?
And how long have you been, Steve?
As long as it takes.
Depends on the day.
What are you otherwise?
Well, not Steve.
The anti-Steve?
It's like Nega Steve.
Dun, 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 dun,
Neither
I'm-
two of them should meet, or there will be an explosion that will
negative
destroy
universe. So
the universe.
So instead of a Steve with a goatee, it's just a clean-shaven
Clean-shaven
Steve.
Steve.
Evil
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah.
And it has a full head of hair. And
Yeah, it's the Nega Steve. Doesn't dress in a purple cape. Oh no, that's Nega Doc.
Yep. Yes. All right, so I guess we'll go straight to the news because we have a lot on our plate.
And
God,
by
are you
straight
sure?
to the news, we're gonna mean we delayed for like 4 minutes before we went straight to the news.
Well, we need, the incessant chatter to.
Right. It's what sets us apart from the other hour and a half long video game podcasts.
Well, we're good. We're quality.
Yeah,
What kind of quality?
just because they
Well,
write,
shit is quality.
just because just because it says quality on the box doesn't mean it's true. I found that out the hard way.
So you want to share that with us, Steve?
Not really, no.
Not Phil in it.
All right. So
That's what she said.
that was episode 69.
Yeah, that's a different episode. You missed that one.
No,
He
I was
he
right
part
there.
of 69.
Damn it.
We'll have to wait for what, episode 96? How does that work?
That's the
That's-
Nega show.
So we don't talk about porn?
Yeah,
Ah,
not a peep.
Maybe after 169.
All right.
Gotta wait that long? Ugh.
Moving on. Well, can't move on. Haven't even started yet.
Moving
What the
on
fuck?
to number one.
Capcom looking for ideas on versus games. So
Did you see the pictures of the guy from Dead Rising, Frank? He's going to be in
Tatsunoko versus Capcom. Yeah, he's going to be a playable character in the fighting
He's got
game.
the little Lego head.
He can summon zombies and stuff.
Gonna be Capcom versus International House of Pancakes.
That's a viable idea. Other ideas include Kellogg's versus Capcom, New Age of Breakfast, Capcom versus Nasdaq, New Age of Investment. Insert your own
GameStop
jokes
versus
here.
Capcom.
Yeah.
Capcom versus Capcom? Oh, wait.
Well,
Yeah, they could just re-release an old one. Just call it Capcom versus Capcom.
they could. So
It's
this would interest
unstoppable.
Brian. Are you going to pick up Tatsunoko versus Capcom, by the way?
Maybe. I'm
Does-
on the fence.
Frank Castle doesn't seal the deal for you?
I don't think it's Frank Castle, but
Or whatever his name is?
yeah.
Who's the guy's
You're
name in
thinking of
Dead
the
Rising?
Punisher.
Oh. Who's the guy's name in Dead Rising?
Casey
Frank
Jones.
something?
Frank Case or something like
All
that.
I remember is I've covered wars, you know.
Casey Jones.
So does he get like a camera in the game and like take special shots in the game?
All I saw was him in the game putting his Lego helmet on. With
Oh,
that Lego head, and that was it. So
Well, so he gets a baseball bat. Unfortunately, it shatters after
it'd be
the
cool if he had some of the weapons from the game. I was watching the trailer for Dead Rising 2, and one of the coolest items I've seen so far is the shotgun rake, where you spear a guy and then you shoot him.
well, there's also like a minigun wheelchair.
Yeah.
I kind of liked the
there was a bike with
one
a chainsaw too.
with chainsaws on both handlebars.
yeah.
And you just vroom, vroom.
Shooting down straight Main Street in
Oh,
the
yeah.
middle of Vegas.
And then all of a sudden you see the hit
And the
counter
strip.
go up. Just
You know what's Frank in the fighting game. What's going to happen is that every 5 seconds you want to pull off a move, you're going to get a call from that guy, the janitor.
Yeah, well, either that or it'll be a special move. It's like, here, it's for you.
No, he'll do the move, and when you're finished, he'll whip his camera out. Smile.
Get a couple of pictures of ghosts while he's at it.
So wait. Oh, okay. I just got the reference.
Uh huh.
Uh huh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
A little delayed.
0.5
So
seconds.
That'd be a good crossover.
what?
The Capcom versus little girls with cameras.
Little creepy girls?
Yeah, with cameras.
All of a
Wasn't there
sudden, a
character like
television
that in,
pops up. And
Moedo High School.
Oh, Momo.
Yeah,
I
it
think her
took
name
pictures.
is. Yeah.
And the flash was so strong it actually
No, that-
hurt you.
No, that was someone else. I don't remember. It's been such a
I
long
don't
time.
remember the name of the character, but I just remember them taking pictures.
Mm. So next up, a updated version of Clayfighter, which would interest Steve.
Digging in the bottom of the
What?
barrel, are we?
Why would that interest me?
you
'Cause
got clay on my
low.
Wii.
If it was Earthworm Jim, there you go. We should have Capcom versus Earthworm Jim.
That would have maybe 2 characters in it,
Well, yeah.
or at least on the
Hey, how many characters were the original Street Fighter?
The original Street Fighter was 8.
Yeah.
So you're pretty close there.
So
I
8.
thought there was only like 3.
Fighting Street.
Well, the Street Fighter 1 had 2 playable characters.
Okay.
Street Fighter 2
Yes.
had 8. The original.
Yes, the original Street Fighter.
But the original Earthworm Jim has like 1 playable character and a bunch
It's
of
really half a character. in a
rogue
suit.
misfits.
Yes. Well, you could bring the Rogue
Yeah,
Misfits
but
in.
I guess if you think about it, then the Tatsunoko characters had no playable characters.
Well, yeah.
Maybe that's why they're looking for new fighting game ideas.
Well, they could just go to a different animation studio. They could go to Toei.
Yeah, it's Capcom versus Ghibli.
Get out of my head. I'm,
Yeah.
I'm sitting there going,
Totoro would be a
Well,
total
want to
grapple
fight
character. It'd be like
Pokoroso.
Zangief.
We need the Cat Bus to come by in a special.
Well,
Just
I wanna
run
fight
somebody
Chihiro.
over.
well, I'm just sitting there going, well, I think about the only characters that are worth the fighting is maybe Princess Mononoke and, well, I guess you could get,
What about Popo?
Poco Rosso.
Pocoroko. Yeah, Pocoroso.
that would be hilarious actually, because I remember the fist fight that he got into at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, they're limping out at the end and just,
Yeah, you could also do, obscure Ghibli films like the Yamadas. Just have them as playable characters. Just throw them in.
hey, I want to play a Sherlock Hound.
Well, who
I want
doesn't?
to play as one of the pig parents from Spirited Away.
All right. So Clayfighter I'm assuming this does not interest you, Steve. You don't like clay?
I don't like clay fighters.
Well,
What do you want out of me?
okay.
A sound test.
Stop harassing him.
All right. So next up, and this will interest Steve again, a Silent Hill movie sequel announced.
Oh yeah, it's gonna what?
Because the first one was just, so great.
Right, 2.
No,
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 really.
not even with the creepy nurses.
Did you watch the movie?
Oh man, those were some hot cosplayers at the con. Actually, the
Yeah,
creepy
the creepy
nurses. They
nurses.
did a really
Creepy
good job.
nurses, yep.
Not so great in the movie, but they're all right in cosplay form.
Really now.
Well, they were surrounded by a crappy movie when they're on the movie screen.
Kind of ruined it for you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Context kind of ruined it.
Well, the movie kind of ruined it too. Yeah. Don't know how they're gonna. I don't know
Yeah, give it
what
up.
script that
Next.
they're going to have for that.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
Suit in a can.
But yeah. So for Brian and I, Castlevania: The Adventure for WiiWare, it is a remake of the first Game Boy game.
That's cool. I thought those were great games.
First one was kind of slow though, if I remember it correctly.
Well,
I
yeah, you
believe
didn't run. It was just walking and. Yeah.
Well, the second one seemed to have a better pace to it than the first one, if I remember
I
correctly.
played the
It's been
crap
like-
out of those original games.
They leaving out Simon's Quest. You can't play Simon's Quest.
I think that's one of. Is that available as download on Virtual Console?
I think so because there was 2 or 3
I think
games
Simon's
on
Quest
there.
is available as
from
a
the
Virtual
NES.
Console download.
Ah.
Or you could, go to Game Force, spend $5 and buy the game.
Well, you could.
Or,
Do you have the console to play it on?
No, I don't.
Well,
Already then.
You know, the worst part of that game was
Well, you could spend another $35 and just buy a new console. Get a Yobo. In fact,
wor-
they're 2 in 1 now.
the worst thing about that game was the save codes. They were
Oh.
stupidly long.
Yeah, those are just.
who
that
saved
thing-
in that
wasn't
game?
that
You
on the
can play that. You
4x4
can finish
I
that
know,
game
it
in
was
like 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's like a 4x4
But if you well,
grid.
the thing was, if you waited longer, different things happened. Like if it took you like 12, 14 hours to play the game, the ghouls that came out at night, they would start flying instead of just wandering around and stuff. The longer you took to finish the game, it was harder it was to finish the game.
Yeah.
And I don't remember any of the endings being good.
I don't remember any of the endings.
Well.
Probably because they weren't good.
Never played it.
Yeah.
You should. You should play at least one Castlevania in your life. That's the Murdock rule. So saith me.
So saith Konami.
Yes. So people want a Persona 4 anime, and it beat
Who are
out
these people.
nerds.
Japanese people.
So
Ah,
that top.
And weeaboos.
Well, that's true. So it topped off other titles such as Phoenix Wright, which I guess would work as an anime, Okami, Kingdom Hearts, which, and Idol Master, which I could see that as a soft core, ecchi anime.
I don't know how you would make Konami or Kingdom Hearts would be really difficult to make as a game because it would be
Well, you mean
It
as
is a
an
game.
anime?
or as an anime because of the licensing issues for it.
Well,
I think Okami would have been kind of cool.
any other video game that you would like to see in an anime and you cannot say Halo?
Because that's already coming out.
Fate Stay Night. Oh no, wait. Oh no.
Valkyrie Chronicle. Oh, darn.
Yeah.
Captain N. Oh
Queen's
no.
Blade.
Wait,
well.
wait, Captain N. That was barely animation to begin with.
Captain N.
Oh, yes. Mother Brain, who sounds like Audrey the Second from Little Shop of Horrors.
Pretty much.
Yep.
I don't, Doctor. No. By the way, I inherited that.
Yeah, how's that working out for you?
Sorry, my baboon heart's being rejected. I inherited the Captain N DVD and watched it.
Who died in the process of watching it to make it so
It's
that
a
you got
it's a
it?
very long
That's
story
not
on how I
inheritance, that's a
received
curse.
it, but I didn't have to pay for it. But
You're paying for it now.
yeah, I'm kind of paying for it now because the second season they brought the Game Boy, and it was this large animated Game Boy. Who would sound like this? It was very annoying.
Wow, I can't tell you how much I don't want to hear more about this.
Well,
Please don't tell me.
The series really hit its stride after the episode "The Trouble with Tetris." I mean, come on.
Uh-huh.
No,
Yeah, right.
No.
I don't want to go.
All right. So well, you mentioned Captain N.
Facetiously.
Well,
You're the one that
that's the only
decided-
time. That's the
You're
only
the one that
time.
decided to have a conversation about him.
All right.
Wink, wink, nod, nod. Move along. Nothing to see here.
The Wii drops to $200, $199. Is that enough for Steve to get one?
Nope.
Enough for Roger to get one?
Nope.
Already got one.
Well, yep.
I
By
could
the
only afford one game system. I mean, come on.
well, that's
There's nothing on the Wii I want to play. So
Yeah.
And PlayStation 3 still not interested.
nope.
Nope.
Okay.
One of these days when I have a gigantic, TV that I want to use Blu-ray for, but by then we'll have ass crystals. So
Well, then it would be about the time that you would buy a PlayStation 3 because you probably wouldn't be getting the
No,
ass
because the ass
they'd be
crystals don't
costing
work on the
about
PS3.
$60.
yeah,
No,
but they're ass crystals.
Sony will come up with a proprietary system. They'll have like blue crystals or something like
blue
that.
ass crystals.
Yeah.
No, they don't look like mushrooms.
No. All right. So next up, Valkyria Chronicles 2, which would interest you, Bri?
Maybe.
Yeah,
I
it's too
still
bad the
didn't put any
first one was
time
so
into the first
hard.
one.
Yeah, no kidding. I barely put time in the first one because I just got so frustrated with the game.
Yeah, it's got a definite wicked learning curve.
Yeah, it does. And none of the cute outfits that were in the first one, so kind of disappointed on that. So next, Left 4 Dead 2 banned in Australia, proving once again that Australia is the worst place to be a gamer.
Well, they got to keep that crown.
Uh,
you know.
they-
Or
Otherwise-
They're
something.
fighting hard for it, that's for sure.
Otherwise, Germany will steal it.
Valve's not. Or
Yes.
they're not giving up
Yes.
on it though. They just repealed, or they're appealing it rather.
What's
So-
there to appeal, or what's
Well, the appeal, the ruling of what it was rated as, because that was the death sentence it was pretty much given.
so? What do they have to do to make the game playable?
Not be Left 4 Dead 2, probably.
Yeah.
They
it's,
need to call it something else.
Yeah.
Dingo Hunter 5. Didgeridoo Hero.
Yeah, they have to call it, pure as driven
Aboriginals,
snow internet hero.
Marmite Hunter.
Aboriginals and Levi's.
Yeah.
Yep.
Left for Vegemite.
Well, we've got the Photoshop for this episode.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
You want to move on there?
I'll give
sure.
'em a push.
Street Fighter 4 V2.0 announced, which surprises no one who's played Street Fighter.
An expansion upon a successful Capcom Street Fighter franchise.
Yes, are you shocked?
Stunning.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, Jolly Cripes.
Jolly Cripes.
Hell, expansion to a non-successful
That's how
Capcom
surprised I
Street
was.
Fighter.
Now, this one's successful, so it will be, according to my notes, Street Fighter 4 Super Turbo Dash Double Upper Championship Edition for matching service.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
With chocolate.
And a cherry on top.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's in the expansion. I think there's a patch for that.
Yeah.
That'll be the downloadable content.
Yeah. You have to pay $5 for that.
Yes.
The downloadable content's already on the disc. You just have to pay to unlock it.
Right.
Thanks, guys.
You forgot the EX Turbo.
Oh, damn. Shit.
Yeah. Championship edition.
Leaving room for
Oh,
a
you got
sequel,
that
I
in there.
see.
Yeah, well, you have to. So, Japanese erotic game detecting shapes. So, the developer of this game, basically what it is that you plug your camera, and while you're playing the game, it will detect certain
Anomalies.
Shapes.
not
I mean-
anomalies.
I mean,
if it's
anatomy.
The Enterprise's sensor array you plug into your computer for your dating game.
if it's an
and,
anomaly, I think you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to have to,
Here,
put it
it's an
through
anomaly.
the,
You can be famous on the internet.
It's an anomalous anatomy.
Yeah.
No. So in-game boner recognition, and not the character from Growing Pains.
Okay, so what happens if a girl is playing?
Yeah, what happens if it sees the sweater dogs?
Sweaters.
Sweater dogs.
Sweater puppies.
Yeah, sweater dogs.
Sweater dogs.
Is that she's a MILF? They're sweater dogs instead of sweater puppies.
She's a
Wow,
cougar.
wow, wow.
Yeah, cougars get sweater dogs. They're like wiener dogs.
Sweater dogs. You want to try that again?
Hush puppies.
I think the correct term is blouse clowns.
What?
Melon felons.
So, Roger, any
Alrighty.
opinion on this technology?
The sisters.
Like I said before, I'm just kind of wondering if it's going to also recognize size.
Double trouble.
I'm just waiting for it to have the very bad.
2 for the price of fun.
Yes, it'll have a little thing, and if it's big enough, she goes sugoi.
And if it's small enough, she looks at you and laughs.
She goes and says, well, I see this game has not been exported.
Says Shisai Shinpo.
If you can make the flag rise, when you get a yata.
Yeah.
Hear the sound effect from an elevator rising.
Should be that little thing when you're, in the Super Mario Brothers and Mario jumped off the staircase.
There should be fireworks coming out of it.
Da-do, da-do, da-do.
All right.
This technology could be abused in other games too. So, watch out for that. Tetris, we're waiting. Boner Tetris. What?
No.
Oh, okay.
Maybe for Damien.
You keep on waiting.
No, that's no. Maybe Bomberman. I don't know about Tetris.
Now I hurt.
Oh.
What about Mega Man?
No.
Bionic Commando.
Resident Evil.
Joust.
Take that unbeatable pterodactyl.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Pac-Man?
Right.
Black Tiger.
Yeah.
Hey, it can only make Trio the Punch better.
No, it can't. This reference to Trio the Punch has been brought to you by Diehard Gamer Radio, where we promise to have at least one Trio the Punch reference every episode.
And remember, kids, you can paint a turd, but it's still a turd.
Yeah. So next up, Gran Turismo 5 coming to Japan,
Bullshit.
March 2010.
Bullshit.
Hey, the
Bullshit.
the PSP version
Bullshit.
comes out
Thursday.
tomorrow. Thursday?
Yes. I got a pre-order.
I see.
Don't make it get the Veyron.
The Veyron, is that like some sort of rhythm and blues singer?
Yeah.
The Bugatti Veyron. It's a really fucking sweet car.
Oh, a Bucati. That's like a French bread, right?
Yeah. Very fast bread. Fresh bread.
Listen, kids,
Fast,
hand goes here.
fresh bread.
Yep.
You want to try that again, Steve?
Yep. No. Veyron though. He sounds like a jazz trumpet player or something.
It's the
Sounds
new
like a
it's the new alien race in Star Trek Online.
Yeah.
Get out of my head.
It's the Veyrons. They're attacking.
Oh, it sounds
Which
like
one of
more
the
like
Veyrons are the ones with the crinkly foreheads? Oh.
More like one of the particles that is in space that you can only see through using the dish in this way.
Yes. You have to
Veyron
an-
particle.
Yes, an inverse Veyron stream.
So
All right. So yeah.
Gran Turismo 5, I'm sure you'll let me know how it is if it comes out.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yakuza 3 coming to North America and Europe, which would have interested Nice John, but he's not here, so because
Probably
he's not
still
here, the
interest-
game's not coming out and he'll be sad.
Probably still interests him.
Well, does it interest you?
No, I get careless.
No. Okay. So not much into the Japanese style
Sandbox
sandbox games with host club thing in it.
Mm. Was it coming out for the 360?
Yeah.
Oh.
It
I might actually
is-
try it then.
It is.
Because
let
I
me see if
thought wasn't the previous Yakuza game only available on like the PlayStation?
I think this is Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3. It's one of those. It's
Oh,
one of those new modern
It's one of
systems.
those new systems that's
Yes.
not the Wii.
Just prior to Ass Crystals.
Well, there's a Wii version of Yakuza. It has a little SD Yakuza guys,
Right,
and they're playing tetherball.
right. And it's all in black and white. And they have to fight.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'd
and
cut
it's all-
off your fingers, except you don't have any.
Yeah.
Well, there'll be an attachment for that.
Yeah.
Be a little plastic knife. What? Oh, okay. It's a car. Ah, okay.
They didn't show you a big picture of French
In
bread.
Gran Turismo? No.
Yeah. There's a car in a racing game.
So it's
Would have been more interesting if it was a bathtub
So-
on wheels or
so
something.
now you can.
Moving on.
So in Gran Turismo 5, you can drive around the Vespine gas. So
right,
oh.
right. That's what everything runs on.
Do you have to mine those too?
Yes.
Okay.
You mine the cars and the Vespine gas.
And then the ass crystals.
That would suck. You're on the course and there's a Zerg rush.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of Suzuka. You're
You're
just
like,
Zerg.
"Ah!" They all come stampeding across the thing. You're like, ah.
Enough minerals. Need
Yep.
more Ass Crystals.
Yep.
You know, we should really patent this idea. We've mentioned it so much. We've got the patent on ass crystals. Don't try anything funny,
I could
Microsoft.
sue all the big console makers 10 years after they've made it.
Yeah, we could be, patent trolls. That'd be awesome. All right.
Roll would be successful then.
Yeah. So, our last bit of news, or at least the real news, the Sony nixing plans for the UMD conversion program for the PSPGo, which is the stupidest thing ever.
Surprise, surprise. You're going to have to buy them all over again.
Well-
No, not necessarily.
Well, here's the thing
Depends
that.
on how fast they can hack the PSP Go.
Well, here's the funny thing. They said, Sony said that we were evaluating a UMD conversion program, but due to legal and technical reasons, we will not be offering the program at this time.
what do you want
Money.
to bet those
Did you
are
see
reasons-
did you see the Wargarble on Ars Technical about this today?
No.
The spiel seems to be that the reason that the PSP Go is going to run for about $250 is because it's a huge margin for retailers, which they're giving to them in exchange for not having games that they can buy on the same shelf as the PSP Go. So the PSP Go actually costs, $150,
Oh, like the
$125.
PSP 3000?
Yeah. Wholesale or, whatever.
They tried
cost.
to counter that too because they said, they said, well, why, people were complaining about the fact it's $100 more than the PSP. And they said, oh, well, we're not going to stop making the PSP 3000. There'll be
Yeah.
plenty of those in
Yeah.
the shelves.
Yeah. It's 'cause
At least
and-
for this month.
Well, and that's the all the marketing materials for all the big retailers and stuff makes specific mention of, very utilizable, friendly margin on, parts, blah blah
And
blah.
here's how you should display our system,
Yeah,
not near the games, with
Yeah.
many systems on many shelves by itself.
yeah,
So it all boils down to money, basically.
like everything.
Yep. Thanks, Sony, for being greedy bastards.
And I like how they're mentioning how there's too many things to get around. And question is, how many of these things?
Well,
how
what
many of these
legal problems
rules,
do they have?
Well,
They
how
own
many of these
UMDs.
rules to get
Oh.
around did they not create themselves?
Well, they don't. There's no rules for them to get around. They own
Yeah,
the
it's a
patent
bunch
on
of
UMD.
bullshit.
It's
They're
their
doing this-
technology.
They're doing this for two reasons. One, they want you to have to rebuy games in general, but two, they don't want to make it easy for people to hack the games either, because they've already made the battery a permanent fixture built within inside of it, so you have to physically take it all apart to get to the battery, because they don't want people putting Pandora batteries in it and making it hackable. So
Yeah.
they're trying to do everything they can to get around that.
So one
doesn't
week
seem
later,
like
after
that.
the PSP Go comes out, we'll see a hack for it.
You won't because nobody's gonna buy it.
Well, there's that. Yeah.
Well, I think there would be some people that would just hack it just because they hacked it.
Yeah, but those are Linux geeks, and we don't care about that.
So next up, we have Care or Don't Care, our somewhat weekly, bi-weekly, monthly feature. So, and I got this just for Steve. Aion, the MMO with wings, whatever the hell that means. I'm sure you're not interested in that because
I
it's
actually want
Korean
to try the demo
and
for this.
it probably has lots of grinding.
Enjoy your grind. A fun game it will not be.
Thank you, Yoda.
It's a Korean MMO. There's no fun to be had. It's for people that really like to do the same thing over and over and over again.
So
And
how
they're
is
burned
that?
out with Final Fantasy?
How's that different from Warcraft?
Well, it's because Warcraft is quest-based, not grind-based. If you're smart, you can actually get to all the leveling by just doing quests versus if you think that quest is grinding, you've never seen grinding before. Grinding is not go to quests and finish them. Grinding is there ain't no damn quests. You're sitting around in the middle of a field waiting for mobs to spawn so you can kill them over and over and over and over again.
It's kind of like mining and
Well, it's kind of like mining.
yeah.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, it's so much like mining, it's actually called mining.
Yeah.
So, thanks for commenting on the Pan for Gold simulation.
I don't really know what the wings thing is. Apparently, it can fly.
Yeah, which is
I didn't like Lineage enough, and I wouldn't like it when it was flying. So, apparently, there's some sort of innovation whereby when you fight these scenarios, you're actually fighting other players and mobs at the same time. But I'm pretty sure that occurred in Warhammer. So,
It's more like
and
Heroes.
I played it.
Did you like Warhammer?
I wanted to like Warhammer. It just nobody I played Warhammer with that especially people that liked the old Dark Age of Camelot things, or people that actually liked Warhammer. Nobody could get into that game for more than a couple weeks. It's like you played through, and you're like, no, yeah, that's pretty cool, that's pretty cool. And as you went on, you're like, all right, still kind of the same. Not really adding anything. No real reason for me to keep playing this.
Awesome.
Awesome.
So yeah, kind of disappointing.
All right.
Waited for frickin' ever for another RPG or MMO from Mythic, and it was very disappointing.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, it's like 7 years between their MMOs.
Is that better or worse than Valve?
I think they'll put out more games total than
Yeah.
than Mythic has, but Mythic's gonna have the werewolf MMO.
Woohoo.
Now, is this White Wolf or?
Yeah, it's a White Wolf.
Oh, dear God. Just dealing with Vampire the Masquerade people at cons is bad enough.
Was it Mythic that has
You guys stop going to
White
Opus.
Wolf, or is it CCP that
Hmm?
has White Wolf?
Oh,
One of those two.
they were back at Acon. That was when the power went out that one year. I'm sitting here going, oh, great, we're in a hotel, it's getting dark, and there's a bunch of vampire LARPers in here.
Yeah, that came out in
We got 2 packs of smokes, half a tank of gas. It's dark. We're wearing shades.
White Wolf came out in Vampire Masquerade came out in 89, 90, something like
Yeah,
that.
it was
I don't
something
know.
I remember it was in high school.
I think you might have like some sort of small phone device that has internet connection
Yeah, I
that you
don't have
could
it here.
use to.
No, I'm trying to
look it
remember
up.
because people all of a sudden started switching from AD&D to White Wolf games, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's good. You know, you have a DM that can't tell a story, and now you're moving to a thing where the DM is actually called a storyteller. Oh, this is going to turn out well.
I bought a shitload of those cards for Werewolf. I had the entire
So-
whole set with that. That was a lot of fun when I had friends playing it, but the instant people stopped playing it, it just...
So tell us about
Sounds
your
like an
DM.
MMO.
Yeah. So tell us about your DM experiences, Steve.
Didn't play a lot of AD&D. Play a lot more of the play RPG stuff.
Yeah, I did Turtles in high
TMNT.
school and Heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Turtles and Heroes were kind of the same. There's source books for
Yeah.
a different system, or source books for the same system with different titles.
So, next up, Dynasty Warriors Online. So, like to grind? Like to press
Oh,
the
that would-
same button a bunch of times?
Oh, until you get powered up and then you hit 2 buttons and woo!
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Blow through so many guys in about 5 seconds and then up.
Yeah,
to push
the
more buttons.
patch will be, well, we've created 5 billion people for you to beat up on.
How is it that this franchise people keep buying?
I don't
Why is
know.
Final Fantasy still around?
Well, at least each one's different.
Not
Dynasty Warriors has the same control scheme every time, and you do the same thing every
I
time.
know. I
and
really
there's
People
like
are still playing StarCraft.
I really
I
hoped
know.
for just
That
a
I don't get
second
either.
there when I saw Gundam Warriors coming out.
Oh,
It was gonna be just different, just enough to be interesting. And I
it's a
played it for
skin.
about 10 minutes. Was like, oh fuck this, man.
It's a skin on
I
Dynasty Warriors.
haven't got the agility of my fingers left to do this for that long. Can't take it anymore.
Oh,
Not 16 anymore.
so don't care about that, obviously.
Haven't cared.
Sup-
Couldn't care.
Super Mario Brothers Wii, which has up to 4 players at once on the same screen. So think of Super Mario Brothers, but with 3 of your closest friends who, after playing the game, will probably not be your closest friends.
Yeah.
This is different than how many other games?
Stealing
Come
your
on.
mushrooms and your fire flowers.
Good times.
Stealing your mushrooms and fire flowers and
Yeah.
your. No, what you do is when they're under a block, you hit the block and you knock
Yeah.
them into a bottomless pit.
Yeah, it works for the Little Big Planet.
Yeah, no shit.
This game will break up more friendships and marriages than anything else combined, I'm sure.
Yeah, but it won't happen to little kids. It'll just be all the old school gamers, you know.
Yeah, I
Like,
think
"Son
we've
of a
discussed this
bitch."
before. It's going to be the 40-year-old guy and the wife beater that's playing the game.
Probably.
Bring
gonna be
me
a
a
little-
beer.
There's many little kids going, this is a next gen Brown.
No, the kids would be just going, this doesn't play quite like Smash Brothers.
This is boring.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that? There was they sat a kid down to play Contra, the original game, and
what-
he absolutely hated it.
Well,
Yeah.
you know why? Because that game is not very forgiving in any way, shape, or form.
Well, that's because the kid sucks.
Well,
And I'll tell
the
I'll
kids.
tell that 10-year-old kid that he sucks.
At
I'm gonna
Contra.
come up.
Daddy, he made me cry.
I'm gonna come up and it's like, kid, you suck.
Uh-huh.
Can't beat the game with the 30-man code. You suck.
So, got some issues to work out there, Murdock.
That's
Well,
why Murdock doesn't have kids.
none that I know of. Oh shit.
Wah, 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 wah. Speaking of kids, Metal Gear Solid.
Murdock's
Peace Walker.
got issues.
Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, which I saw the demo looked really impressive, and then remembered, oh shit, it's Metal Gear, so I'm not interested anymore.
You saw it was really impressive. You're
Well-
like, this will be a great movie.
Yeah, exactly.
This will be an awesome movie. Oh wait,
If only we get up to 10 minutes of gameplay, it might be worth it.
Yeah.
it's a 2-hour movie with 10 hours of gameplay.
Yeah, 10 of it is creating your character.
5 of it is waiting for the install on the
Yeah.
PS3.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Why doesn't
Yeah,
just
I tried to
co-
log on my PS3 the other day, and it wouldn't recognize my connection all of a sudden, and I just didn't give a shit. I just turned it off. I was like, this isn't worth my time. Fuck it.
I don't know why they made that so difficult.
No, it worked.
It's
Mine worked
Sony.
forever. And then I left it for about 2 months, didn't do any updating or anything, came back to it, just turned it on.
Oh,
all of a
there's your
sudden,
problem.
Didn't work. And I'm like, I mean, the system worked, but
It
it
would
wouldn't
work.
recognize my connection online. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why do I have to
It al-
fuck with this? We're in this day and age. Why do I not be able to plug shit in and have it recognize it and be able to play? And still play 2 months later.
Because you weren't playing it every day like Sony requires you to.
It got
no,
pissed and
I mean,
turned off.
No, I hadn't played my PS3 in a month. Then I logged in, uploaded the patch. Well, uploaded the 5 or 6 patches.
Came back an
I
hour
think
later.
you mean download
Well,
the patch.
Yeah.
Come
download
on.
Yes,
Ah,
he's writing his own
Basic
patches
terminology here.
He's
Let's
hacking
go.
all-
Tired.
He's full of viruses. He's hacking.
So, the PS. If I ever meet Kaz Hirai, I'm gonna smack him upside the head.
Whoop upside your head. Say whoop upside your head.
So, Star Trek Online. Let's hear Steve's pontification on this again.
I keep hearing news about it, but nothing new ever comes out.
All right, next news.
We're waiting for the Vayrons to attack.
It really is. It's like there's news releases all the freaking time about this game, and no news comes with the news releases.
And I love how they just keep re-showing the same old pictures.
Well, they're not the same pictures, but they might as well be. Here's a ship. Here's
Well,
a
they
nebula.
did that for the first 2 or 3 times they
Here's
announced
a-
it, and they were saying, "Oh, hey!" It's like they just want to keep their name out there. Like people are gonna forget.
Here's an asteroid belt. Here's a planet. here's a Vulcan.
Here's
and
a
that's
planet with an asteroid belt.
Yeah, there was a
Whoa, they mixed it up.
there was a chat with the developers on
There's
the
one
Star
of those
Trek.
every
like
week. There's one.
and I read one of them. It's like I don't understand a fucking word of this. It's like an alien language.
They're somewhat useful.
I think
but
they've
somewhat
gotten
not.
to the point where they're so stressed out because they want to make this so good and they want to meet all these expectations that they're just like out
What
of
are they?
their
The Gran
minds.
Turismo team?
I think they just have the
yeah.
flunky do the flunky
GT
do
in
the
space.
do the. They want the flunky to do the interview, the IRC interview, and everybody else is work. I mean, the release date for this game isn't until like fall of next year, so like,
They have
you
a
know.
release date?
Everybody's got a release date, whether it's whether it's real or
Unbelievable when
not.
it's
That's a
gone
different
gold,
thing.
Yeah.
So
It's like frickin' Dragon Age. It's supposed to be out, I think October.
oh yeah.
End of October, beginning of November, and there's been no preview reviews for it or anything.
so no hope for
like-
Steve.
No, I'm not getting any of my MMOs this year.
Not even Huxley.
That I haven't looked
I'm
at
just
the
waiting
release
for-
date for
That
that
looks so cool
I'm waiting
too.
to see when
Dude, it look-
Champions Online is supposed to hit the Xbox, if ever.
one. I don't know. It's supposed to be coming pretty soon, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that one looks like it might. Be
Huxley
fun.
looked like it was good in 2004.
Yeah, I know. It
No,
had
you
such
want-
promise, and then with
You
the
want
way
a
of the
game that
dinosaurs.
that was probably good, would have been good about 2004. Have you seen Darkest of Days? You could get the demo for it off.
is that PC
Xbox.
only?
No, it's Xbox Live,
Huh.
or
No.
that's where I got the demo from. It's an FPS, and it's got this time travel component. and
Oh,
stuff
I
like
read
that.
a review about that.
Oh, I'm looking at this going, this is terrible.
Yeah, it's-
Holy crap.
well-
They made time travel boring.
Well, it's amongst the things
not
that the review
impossible.
complained about was enemy groupings that ignore you, and
Even after you shot them like 5
yeah,
times.
they ignore you. The AI is really horrible for your allies and for the enemies, and the reintroduction to the modern age of invisible walls.
Yeah.
That's some great programming there, Lou.
Yeah, that's some
Uh,
darn fine programming there, Lou.
And just the
There's probably some
character
guy named
models in
Lou
this-
there. It's like, oh man,
I'm-
I worked so hard on that.
I mean, even M looked at it and goes, this looks like it belongs on the original Xbox.
It reviewed poorly. Let's
It's
just say
sad
that.
yeah.
because 9 times out of 10, those games suffer because the programmers worked too hard on one element only. They didn't work enough for all elements, or they didn't
It
build
just-
well in a core and then go from that. So
Doesn't
it-
seem like any part of the game was done well.
It looked like it was just kind of, we have a project we want to do that we need to get out,
Yeah.
Somebody's
well,
senior project for
Time-
their
Yeah,
CS
it's
degree.
like, oh well, here's a game I kind of worked on for my my senior year at DeVry.
You do need to tighten up the graphics on level 3.
Sorry, I'll get my belt.
what does that even mean?
I don't know.
Come on, Steve, you're in IT. Tell us.
I always think they have the guys who are they're sitting there playing at the beginning of that commercial, and their boss, quote unquote, comes in and says, "Guys, you need to blah, blah, blah," and I'm thinking she should be asking, "Guys, what are you doing in the quality control department? Get your asses out of here and back to development.
Well,
We have the
somehow-
minimum wage workers do this sort of crap."
Well, either that or everybody thinks that, oh, you program a game with a controller.
Well, you do. It's called Microsoft Visual Studio.
So, next up,
What?
so you kind of care about Star Trek Online and would like
I'll care
to,
about it sometime when they put out some sort of
it'll be right before the end of the
Demo?
world.
they were the beta maybe or something.
Diablo 3 will come out before Star Trek Online.
It's entirely possible at this point.
So, next up, Final Fantasy VII Perfume, and I'm not making this up.
Don't care.
Yep.
don't wear it.
Big don't care.
Yeah, $70 to smell like Cloud. I know there's a joke in here somewhere.
How much to smell like shit?
That would be Final Fantasy VIII.
I thought that was the one that left a bad taste in your mouth.
Oh, that's that Final Fantasy hentai game that you're talking. Oh wait, no.
You're not supposed to drink the perfume.
Knowing the
Explain.
state of some fanboys' heads, I'm trying to think, would it be past them to actually drink it?
No, they'd mix it into something.
Oh.
Oh, this will go well with Di Serono. Yeah.
Oh.
I can have a little bit of cloud inside me.
Little
yeah.
sailor
Oh.
Jerry's and Cloud.
Yeah.
Oh.
What?
Cloud and Jerry, they call it.
Captain Cloud Morgan.
The problem was they made it look like a mana potion, so
I'll get my MP back if I drink
People will
this.
do it just to buy the bottles because they're getting the bottles
It's entirely
themselves.
possible.
The perfume is null void. Nobody gives a shit about that.
Yeah, they should go to other
They
video
did the
game
same
characters.
shit with the drinks they put out.
Yeah.
The drinks that came out in the weird bottle things.
Like I
they're
said,
still selling them
Yeah,
too.
of
I
course.
got an somebody was trying to get us to sell it through our store. And
I
I'm
think I
like,
saw them on NCS
"Yeah."
too here recently.
So I'm thinking we need to have different characters with eau de toilette, like Mario, which would be more fitting since he's a plumber. Or, smell like Master Chief all day. You could have that.
Right, you could
Yeah.
smell like the
Suit
inside of a
smegma.
the inside of a sweaty power armor.
Nickname
great.
is Stewie.
Any more ideas that we want to come up with? No.
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 Can't
No.
stretch out this
No.
joke.
So
huh?
let's flush this one.
Send all complaints to Brian. So, news for, Brian. The Mushihime-sama Futari, the new cave shooter, will be region free.
I've been waiting to hear that. That's
So-
the version
so they'll-
1.5.
Yeah, the cave had a, a survey on their website of, hey, what games do you want us to come out
Yeah, I
with?
saw that.
And almost half of the responses came from outside of Japan. And they're like, wow, we didn't realize that there were so
Hello?
many foreigners that liked our games. Maybe we should do something about it.
You can't tell me they don't monitor the sales of those games even after somebody else publishes it over
Well,
here.
It's not like they're going to lose
I
any
know they
money for
don't
making
care as much,
region-
but they've
region
got to see if their
free.
games are selling.
Yeah,
They publish them, and granted, they do such low print runs when they come out over here that they're almost guaranteed to sell.
Yeah. So, Cave, I don't care because I have a Japanese Xbox, so
Yeah,
it
so
doesn't matter
fuck
if you
you.
make a
And you're
region.
special.
Well, I am special.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I got a news thing too. New Guild Wars announced. Guild Wars 2.
I thought you didn't like Guild Wars.
That's all right.
Was that a Korean grindy
Nope.
one?
That
It's
was
not
the
Korean.
free one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You
It's
just
the
bought
what's,
the game. There's
N-
no month to month.
Yeah.
Was it NCSoft or who makes the game? Some
It
guy.
might be NCSoft.
PopCap.
Yes, PopCap comes out with an
It's-
MMORPG.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of stupid Flash MMOs already, so.
So, are you planning on picking this up to tide you over?
I don't know a whole
until-
lot about it yet. There's been some screenshots. There's a really nifty trailer for it that Matt posted me a link to. And it looked really neat.
It'll come out before Star Trek Online.
Probably.
Are you bitter?
Nope.
Would you like to sip on some perfume?
Nope.
So, we've got two special features. We've got a movie review, and I think Roger's got something for us too. Something about a con or something.
Yeah, it's a rather slightly interesting tale, at least.
Well, let's
But let's go with
Steve.
Steve's first.
Yes. So we have Steve's movie review, which is, called Steve's movie review.
I thought we were going to call this Steve versus
Oh,
and
okay.
whatever the movie is.
So Steve versus
Kind
gamer.
of like Moby versus Beyonce. Fight.
Oh, okay. So
No, I'll let you. No, I'm not even going to go do that joke. Screw that.
you already started it. You got to finish it.
Nope.
So Steve.
Unlike some people, I know when to shut up.
Yeah,
usually.
well, it would have been pretty funny if you had. said
Also
something
note
like,
that
I'll
he's
let
married.
you. I'll let you finish this review, but I want you to let you know that Walker had one of the best movie reviews ever.
So Steve versus Gamer.
I really can't do anything more than that, really. I think
Oh.
that's as funny as I get for this podcast.
I-
Might have to edit out this review just as it is.
Oh, so well. Bottom line, did you like it?
I enjoyed this movie. It was great. Gerard Butler, really good.
Easy on
He's a
the
good
eyes,
actor.
right, Steve?
M says so.
Well,
She liked it.
and
So.
did it have like a coherent plot? Were there boobies?
There were boobies. The movie is very violent.
Well, that's cool.
It's full of boobies.
Are they good boobies?
Yes, they are.
There's no bad boobies.
Yes, there are.
Yes,
Yes,
there
there
are.
Not in this movie.
Not in this movie.
Not in the movie, no.
I mean, there was this one chick with these cube boobies. I mean, it was really bad.
I told you to stop playing Street Fighter.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
some point, you
And
gotta stop playing
it's a
pixels.
cyberpunk movie, but it's pretty cyberpunk. It's not like Blade Runner cyberpunk. Although many of the beginning and ending sequences are very much, well, the ending sequence is almost exactly a copy of the ending of Blade Runner, except without the hover car.
So he dies with a dove in his hand.
No. The end of Blade Runner.
That wow. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, he's flying away. And it's,
Well, there's like
in
five
the
ending-
theatrical version. when
Okay.
he's flying
All
away.
right.
And the beginning is sort of kind of like Blade Runner in the sense that they kind of set the scene of the world in the same way. You know, not
Is there
not
lots
too
of
distant
fog in the
future.
movie?
There's no fog really in the
Well,
movie.
then it's not like Blade Runner at all.
Lots of blood. The plot's pretty interesting. The characters are really good. John Delancey is in this movie. I haven't seen John Delancey in a while, so there he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The interesting the guy who plays Gerard Butler, who is like this soldier guy who was in
You mean the guy that Gerard Butler plays?
yeah was in the he's in prison for on death row, and the main villain comes up with this real life game where if you win 30 scenarios of this big sort of free for all live FPS thing, you go free.
But aren't the players
Well, the players
played by kids, though?
well the soldier itself is Gerard Butler or any of these other folks. There's two classes of them. There's the ones that are controlled by a remote operator. They have a little nanite thing that's put in their brain basically so they can be controlled from remote. Or you can be, if you're not capable of participating in that level of combat, you can be auto-controlled basically and set on a pattern, and if you survive one of these scenarios, then you're free. But you don't have any control over yourself.
That's excellent.
The same guy came
I'm
up.
assuming that's where the violence comes in.
No, well, the
Noth-
violence
nothing-
is all the freaking
Nothing like
place in that
seeing
movie.
death coming and not being able to do a damn
Yep,
thing.
yep. There's a couple of really like you're like, ooh, that was
Impressive violence.
yeah. The evil genius of this, also his first live game was a live version of basically of Second Life, where people get these implants and they get paid to let people control them for a certain amount of time in a certain area.
Sounds kind of like surrogates.
It's kind of, except that the other people are basically they're both not one of them isn't an android. They're both humans. Just one has had this nanite thing put into their brain that copies basically their brain, kills off the organic cells and replaces them with these nanocells. And so the people can either pay into the game to control somebody or be paid from the game to be controlled. And so that's the first part. And the second part is this Slayers game where they have to do this sort of thing.
So
And
tell
yeah,
us more about the hot chicks in the movie.
there's a lot of hot chicks in this movie.
Things that would be relevant to your interests.
They're pretty boobylicious.
Boobtastic.
The great thing about the game, the script is very adequate until 20 minutes before the end, when you can really tell that the producers of the movie, or the executive producers, or whoever was really running the show on this movie, said, you need to wrap this up. And so a bunch of stuff happens that makes sense when you're thinking about it afterwards, but while it happens so fast during the movie that you're like, huh? What? Huh? And the other great thing about this movie is that it's very authentic in the sense that you think that somebody who has spent a lot of time on the internet, specifically on 2channel or 4chan or 7chan or any of the other chans, has wrote this script, because it's the dialogue, the internet dialogue, quote unquote, is very authentic. The 17-year-old that runs Gerard Butler's character is a beatard in every way, shape, and form.
So is this going to be worth buying on DVD?
I've seen it twice at matinees, so I would think so.
Oh,
I would recommend, however, if you can find a matinee, it's quickly going out of theaters
Circulation.
because it reviewed really bad. And it reviewed really bad because if you read the reviews for it, they're all like, this movie is really violent and I don't understand why. And you want to reach into the paper and then out of their computer screen and throttle them to say, that's the point of the movie, you stupid idiot. But what do I know?
Movie creates violence.
Well,
These
you're-
violent reactions.
It's like,
yeah.
it's trying to make a commentary on society, but it's so violent. I'm like, that's the whole freaking commentary, you doorknob.
keep in mind that Steve's opinion, is a little wary.
Maybe he's a dish knob.
He does like, a movie with a wushu Davy Crockett.
That was pretty awesome.
I need to find a picture of that wushu Davy
You
Crockett.
do,
Just have
you
it
do.
for
You need to buy that movie and do a screen capture.
no.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I think I have $1 somewhere. I can-
You know what the movie was?
I don't.
Yeah, it was
Shaolin Dolomite.
Shaolin Dolomite.
Oh,
It's
okay.
an awful, awful.
I think
movie.
Raph might have it
Why?
because he just got his hands on like 160 chopsucky flicks. He told me.
And it's on one DVD.
Yeah,
No, he
yeah.
had, I
It's
think
one of
he had
those
multiple
collections at the-
collections, yeah.
Oh, what are
It's
those
probably
collections
all-
I don't-
from like
I've-
Micro Center or something?
I've never seen Shaolin Dolomite in any of those collections. I've only ever seen it that one time at that one Hollywood Video or Blockbuster that was over on Quebec and
That was
Leedsdale, right?
Mississippi,
Leedsdale.
wasn't it?
Was that?
Mississippi.
No, it was Quebec
no,
and
in
Leedsdale.
Leedsdale.
It's another down from Mississippi.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah,
anyway.
yeah. Out in
Yeah.
front
One-
of the Safeway or the Kings, whatever.
Yeah,
it
Yeah, it
was.
was a safe. Yeah, it's a Safeway.
Yeah.
All right.
The only time I've ever seen that.
So thanks, Steve.
Yep.
So next up,
Oh,
we
I give it
2 Steves out of 10.
I give it like 7 Steves out of 10. That was a great movie. I hope they do like a different cut for the ending for the DVD, 'cause that'd be nice.
I'm sure there's
What-
more to it.
So what would be 10 on the Steve scale?
What would be 10 on the Steve scale?
And if you say
I don't
Meatballs
know.
the movie, I will kill you.
Ah.
He's gonna say Hot Dog the movie. That was 10.
Porkies.
I don't know. I would have to think
Hard
about that.
bodies.
Hard body.
Yes, it's just erotic thrillers. Any of them, they all get 10s.
So next up, Roger, who is talking about something.
Talking about
Not
something.
really
yeah.
sure. Does this have anything to do with video games at all?
Yes, actually, it's about a video game convention that
Wow.
happened just recently.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
The
Little horror story.
Oh yeah. I got this off of a couple different sources. If you want to read it,
The internet.
yes. If you want to read it, it's on the internet. You can find the post at smashboards.com. Look for the story behind Game Unicon 2009.
Game Unicron?
I know that's what I thought.
summons Galvatron.
Oh god, I played that Transformers game. That sucked.
So basically, what happened was that this guy managed to convince a video game store by the name of Game Universe to put on a video game convention. He said he would put up X amount of money if they put up X amount of money, and promised essentially the moon and the stars, as it were.
And this company was already struggling anyway, so they thought this was their way out. So
Exactly.
they really bought into
Though
it.
It also doesn't sound like this particular video game company was very good at business. So,
Well, there's a lot of problems with business these days. But basically what happened was that
business.
the game convention kind of did okay, but it didn't do nearly what was enough to cover its expenses. and all these people that were supposed to get paid didn't get paid. And the guy that was promising all this said, "Oh, I'll get you the money. I'll get you the money. Get you the money." Well, after the person from Game Universe who posted this story said that he talked to the guy on Tuesday, and the guy's like, "I got a loan, so I'll have everybody paid off." Friday, he was arrested. He broke into a house, tied up the woman in there,
Wasn't
and
it
stole her
relatives of
bunch
his too?
I don't know.
I think the house was like some of his relatives. He was trying to get money from them.
Something. Well, basically, what ended up is that he went into a house and he was armed. He had a gun. Tied up this woman, stole all her stuff.
He had a gun.
Led the police on this long chase. Ended up in a river. Threatened to kill himself with the gun, and was finally, the police negotiators finally told him,
I don't like this story. He should have shot himself.
But yeah, this
I don't find this character believable at all.
Yeah. Not written by a professional.
Well, I had a
So when is id coming out with the game version of this?
Home Invasion
It's
2010
done by Rockstar.
Yeah. Grand Theft Dumbass.
Banned in Australia.
Well, and the problem is that
Sounds like it's River City Ransom, really.
So yeah,
Those
it's just,
digital ruffians.
So I mean, I had a friend of mine who originally pointed me to this story, and then I had other people point me to the story as well. Said he's heavily involved in anime conventions, and they get a lot of video game people there, and it's like, we want more video game stuff. He's always telling them, "Well, go start your own convention." He said, "I'm not going to tell them that anymore because apparently it leads to home invasions."
This is what not to do in starting a con.
Well,
Yes,
a better
I mean-
idea would be don't start a convention.
Well, especially when you're essentially promising the moon. I mean, it wouldn't be the first convention, CooneyCon, that would over promise and under deliver with all these high expectations of, we're going to have this, we're going to have, because this guy promised like, I can get us like 500 televisions for the video game consoles, and I can get us these bands, and
I don't think
Well, no,
PAX
I
had
thought
500
the guy who ran the game store had a friend that had a band, or he was part of the band, so they
Yeah.
had worked a deal out with that too, and so they got screwed out of other money.
Yeah, well, at least according to a rough estimate of the list, I mean, the guy owes like $100,000,
Yeah.
Wow.
and that's
adult money.
yeah.
That's
So-
there's grown-up money. Well,
if
you
you
gotta wonder
wanna-
too. This business that this video game store that decided they wanted to put a video game. They get this guy and tell him to do. Well, I'll take care of it, and they don't check up on anything about him. Nothing. And it's like, well, yeah, I can't imagine why it didn't work. Well, it's because you're a dumbass.
Well, the guy did bring in 3 trade-ins, so
Well,
And he bought an extended service.
if he
agreement,
went,
so.
yeah. I mean, if it was EB, we would have had a manual receipt at least.
Well, one of the other things is that other stories of this came on because I saw part of this on the Anime Cons mailing list, and one guy reported that he had worked at the convention, and he actually ended up being security there, but he was security for one of the dealers because they had this brilliant idea of letting the dealers' areas be open 24 hours, and the dealers didn't want to do that. But because they weren't going to close up the room, they get their own security to watch the booths. But they said the convention's own security wasn't checking badges, wasn't doing jack.
Hey, it sounds like Starfest after 7.
Sounds like NDK.
or Otaku Max. Ugh.
Let's talk about the DDR contest, huh? At NDK.
Oh yeah, the fact that the guy who won the contest didn't even pay to get in. That's some fine door security, Lou.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, and side note, the DDR room did smell like the taper cage.
Well, also a side note, the people running the DDR are not affiliated with the people running the video game room at NDK, just so people know.
Yeah, the video game room was actually pretty cool.
Actually, I liked
And
the
very little
arcade.
funk.
Well, I liked the arcade setups that they had outside.
Yeah, did you know he actually brought in $200 off of the arcades alone?
Well,
And
and
one of the reasons I think was because they decided to leave the arcades out overnight.
oh yeah, well there were always except for at the beginning of the convention, I always saw people on them.
I was going up there to pick up my games because I had loaned them the Samurai Showdowns and Metal Slugs for the Neo Geo setup, and
Well,
I got up there like 20 minutes before close, and there was a couple guys up there must have had $5 in quarters up there that were just pounding through Metal Slug. They were just like cling. Yeah, I swear, it was every like 25, 30 seconds. There was another quarter
good
in.
old days.
Yeah, it's just, they were determined. They're like, we're gonna go through this $5 if it kills us, and it did. But I didn't have the heart to stop. I was like, go for it, man. If you can make it to the end, I'll be impressed.
So does if the DDR room smelled like the taper cage, does it then mean that by corollary the taper smell is actually an otaku smell?
You would be correct.
What's it
Ding
with?
ding 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 ding.
This
ding,
will
ding.
also be made into a perfume that Square Enix will sell at some point.
Ah.
Comes in a
Otaku
glass. It
taper.
looks like a
Yeah,
pile
Taper
of
Fantasy
shit.
12.
There's your Photoshop.
Yeah, Taper Fantasy. It's a wonderful new game by Square Enix. It's got characters from Disney in it and everything. Here's Goofy with a taper, casting a magic spell.
I was just thinking of a DDR perfume. The thing is, it's just an arrow, and you can decide which way you want to go with it.
Taper hearts.
Rad Taper. Oh, sorry. No one remembers that Square made
Taper
Rad Racer.
2.0. Rad Racer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Square made that.
Yeah.
3D World Runner. 3D World
Mm.
Taper. So,
taper worm.
Rad Racer.
yeah. So, any more stories from? Because I'm sure you, for our audience, our listening audience of one, Roger does a lot of conventions, and has experienced a lot of anime conventions and various video game rooms of certain qualities.
Yeah.
Bad, good.
Whatever. I mean, which one do you want? I mean,
What's the worst one?
Get to the part where you pee.
Worst video. Actually, that had to have been the Doom room at Project ZCon, because they were going to have a network game set up in there. We poked our heads inside. It actually looked like Doom had actually happened in the room. There was ceiling tiles missing. There was wallpaper that had been torn off. There was no computers in there whatsoever. However, there was a monitor on its side.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it would be a whole other podcast for me to go through all the different video game.
Was it like an amber monitor?
Yeah, it was an amber.
I think it was.
It was an amber 80
So-
column
so
monitor.
someone was like, shit, don't have Doom, better pop in logo.
Yep. This is around the CPM.
Do they have logo on the iPhone?
Oh, I don't know.
Hmm.
Beats that. Probably not, because iPhone discourages things that could possibly be used to alter the functionality of the iPhone.
Really?
Yeah.
How would that?
Because it's a compiler, really, technically. It's an
Yeah.
interpreter, really, but
Well, so much for that. Anyway, anything else before we wrap it up?
Boobies.
There's no boobies.
So I guess that's it for Diehard Gamer Radio. Join us again next time. Is this the part where we start talking and kind of end it like McLaughlin Group?
Yeah, I know with my group. So what do you think about that there? Well, you know, it's good.
Thank you for listening to Die Hard Gamer Radio. You can visit our website at diehardgamerradio.com and iTunes, or you can email us at diehardgamerradio@gmail.com.